Hello. In today's video, we are going to talk about cohabitation. Two people moving in together. Now, I'm going to be talking about this in regards to two people who love each other and are moving in together or getting married so that they're now going to be living together. But there is some value in this for people who are just getting a new roommate. But for the most part, this is like a relationship discussion, and you can adapt it if you need to a roommate situation if that's where you're at in the moment. I'm Coach Red. I am a life and health coach. I am here to help you with whatever your relationship needs are, or your parenting needs, or if you are embarking on a health journey for fertility, or for weight loss or gain, or stress reduction. There's so much out there. Check out my website where I have lots of blog posts and access to my YouTube channel. My website is coachred1.com. That's the number 1. And this is the YouTube channel that you're seeing this video on. Please be sure to like this video, watch it until the end, and subscribe to my channel. It helps with the algorithm, and it helps more people see the free information that I put there on YouTube that is so valuable for so many people. Now let's talk about what it is that you talk about when you're moving in with someone. I'm saying that with a little bit of a caveat. You have to have this conversation before you move in with them. And this may be a conversation that takes more than one sitting. I'm going to talk about 10 items that are really, really important to talk about. And this is really just like a snapshot. If you're talking marriage, there may be more like in-laws and kids and things like that, but this is just two people moving in together. Let's get started. Chore division. That's number 1. Discuss who's going to handle what chores and set timelines and frequencies for these tasks. So for example, if two people are dating and they've gotten to the point in their lives where they now want to live together, well, are they going to hire someone to do all the cleaning? Or are they going to clean every Saturday or Sunday? Or are you going to clean every night a certain room, do laundry once a week? Like, discuss what your habits are before you actually move in together. Like, maybe one person does these things infrequently. You do laundry once a month and you have a ton of clothes. The other one does laundry twice a week and they have very few articles of clothes, or they also have a lot of clothes. They just do laundry very infrequently. More frequently. So discuss that. Do you put your clothes in a hamper? Do you put your clothes in a bag in the closet? Do you have a section of the room you tend to dump your clothes in? So discuss chore division. That's the first thing. The second thing is organization. Address organizational habits and decide on how to manage any differences in organization. So if one of you is super organized and has little piles on the desk or on the dresser, and then the other person doesn't like piles on the dresser, but they'll take those piles, but they have to be in a drawer. If somebody's messy and somebody else is not messy, I'll tell you, this came up before I got married to my husband. He will never admit it, but he's a messy guy. And I am super, super neat. So right behind me on this dresser is my no place zone. Nothing is allowed to be on that top of that dresser for any length of time. And that's my safety. And that's how we've kind of discussed our organizational skills. He's got his desk and he places his computer in a certain way and his extra screens and his notes and his notebooks. And I have my way of putting all of my things. Note, actually, that top drawer right there is where I put most of my papers, and I go through it on a regular basis, and I address the different papers that I need or whatever. that's my place to put things because I don't want them out in the open. He likes them out in the open. And he puts things in drawers that need to be stored for longer periods of time. And this was something we actually discussed before getting married. So I recommend to you, discuss your differences, and maybe you can come up with a compromise, or your compromise might be, this is how I do it, this is how you do it, and let's just see how it goes. But we're not gonna let it break us. That's an option too. Financial planning is number 3. Determine how you'll manage personal finances. Decide on bill management and joint or separate accounts, and establish a plan for emergencies and savings goals. Now, if you're in a relationship, how are you going to divide the bills? Technically, you really shouldn't be on an account together if you're not married because there's liabilities in there, which I'm not getting into. But maybe you have an account that both of your names are on that each one of you puts a percentage in and pays the bills. Because even though you are in a relationship, this is basically a roommate situation. So you have to have everything illuminated. You don't have to know how much he has, how much she has. Nobody has to know that necessarily, but you have to discuss your salaries and what percentage of your salary is going towards the bills. Who's paying for food? Who's not paying for food? What happens if a bill comes in that has to do with the apartment or the house? Who pays that? Who pays if you had to pay for some sort of planting outside? Also take into consideration if one person owns the house and not the other person, how do you want that separated? How do you want the payments to get made? Does one person pay all the bills and the other one pays for food and incidentals? How is that going to work out? Establish a plan for emergencies and savings goals. Are you saving for a really nice couch that you didn't get off of OfferUp for free? Are you saving for an emergency that something breaks? So let's say you're in a rental apartment and something breaks. A lot of it is taken care of by the association, by the owner, or by the leasing company. But what if you're in a house of a person, one of you owns the house? There's just a lot to talk about. I don't have answers. This is an entire video on questions. Checklist of questions. The 4th thing is your end of day needs. Discuss how each of you needs to decompress at the end of the workday. And you have to find a balance that accommodates both partners' preferences. So is one of you the type that needs to talk as soon as you get home? You just dump your stuff in one place and talk. Is someone else the type that needs to decompress and just sit in the room and scroll the phone? Or do you need to go to the bathroom the second you get home? These are all things that you want to discuss. What do you actually do when you get home? And how necessary is one thing? Does one of you want to start cooking dinner? Does one of you want to immediately go out to dinner? Does somebody want to go out to dinner at 9 o'clock at night? These are things that you want to discuss. Your end of day needs. Number 5, coping with difficult times. Understand or get to understand how each of you copes with challenging situations, and make sure you're aligned in providing support and comfort. Does one of you want to give solutions? Does one of you want to have solutions? Does one of you want to just get a hug? Or does someone else want to just sit there quietly holding your hand? Find out how you cope during difficult times, because they'll come up. You know, there will be family loss, there will be a pet loss, there will be something that you thought you were getting that you're not getting, financial struggles. So things will happen. Talk about how each of you, from your own perspective, copes with difficult times, and incorporate that into how you're going to handle that while you're living together. Employment and job loss, that's number 6. This is real, especially now. Lots of job losses all the time. All these major tech companies were letting go tens of thousands of employees. So discuss what happens if one partner loses their job and create a plan for getting back on track and supporting each other during unemployment. There is so much to discuss on that because there's the emotional side of it and then there's the financial side of it. What if you're both employed, you both have a great amount of money and one of you loses your job, but you have an agreement about who's paying for what? The financial planning from number 3. What happens when you're living together and somebody loses their job? There's a lot of facets to that. Make sure you discuss that beforehand. Affection and love. Reflect on how you both show love and affection in every day. Recognize the importance of small gestures. So are you the kind that just wants a quick peck on the cheek and goodbye, see you later, and then when you come home at the end of the day, a quick peck on the cheek, hi, honey, I'm home? Or are you the type that wants to hold hands all the time and hug all the time and constant touching on the shoulder or touching on the head? Like what do you like as far as affection and love? And there is the 5 love languages. I highly recommend that book. I do have a love language questionnaire on my website under free resources. So you could take that test there and just find out what are your love languages. That will help a lot before you go. There are 5 of them. One is like physical touch, one's acts of service, one is gifts, words of affirmation. Anyway, there's 5 of them, and you're gonna go through each one and discuss what you like as a person from your other person. Number 8, emotional expression. Understand each other's mode of expressing emotions and commit to open communication and avoid misunderstandings. One thing about me is I'm very transparent. There is nothing going on in my head that I don't just blurt out. So sometimes that works in my favor and sometimes it doesn't. But not everybody's like that, and you're not mind readers. So if somebody blows up, if somebody's angry all the time, sad all the time, happy all the time, bubbly and lively from 5 o'clock in the morning, discuss that. How do you express your emotions? And also discuss how you plan to communicate and how you plan to address misunderstandings between the two of you. I highly recommend relationship check-ins very frequently. It could be every night, it could be every other night, it could be every week, but I highly recommend relationship check-ins. Then it becomes something that you're used to discussing in your relationship. Whatever misunderstandings don't come up as often because you're used to discussing the details of how you communicate. Number 9, receptiveness to feedback. Promise to be receptive and not defensive when receiving feedback. Explore feedback together and consider necessary changes. So receptiveness to feedback means I'm going to hear what you have to say about what I just did, said, thought. And I'm going to look at what part of that might be true for me and what part might not be true for me, but I'm not going to be quick to answer, oh, no, that's not me. Oh, no, that's not it. You stop for a second, you say, okay, I could see how you said that based on what I said. This is the reality. This is the non-reality. This is what really resonates for me. I'm going to have to think about that. That's the kind of language you're going to use when you are discussing number 9, receptiveness to feedback in your discussion before moving in. Number 10 is personal growth. Encourage each other to deal with personal issues. Commit to self-reflection, seeking help, and taking accountability when needed. I don't think I need to express that any further because by discussing and addressing these topics before moving in together, you are better prepared for a harmonious and successful shared life together. Okay, review this checklist with your partner, and I will have that up on my website very, very soon if it's not already up at the time that this video goes live. But but discuss this checklist with your partner to ensure that you both have a clear understanding and an agreement on these important aspects of cohabitation. If you need more guidance or you want help going through this checklist with your partner, I am here to help you. I am Coach Red. You can reach me at info@coachred1.com. Don't forget, like and subscribe to my video channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Head over to coachred1.com where we have free resources and blog posts that will help you and your family's journey and your health. Be sure to like this video, share it with others who might like this video, and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video from Coach Red.